Please subscribe show. YouTube Cole Spivey. Yeah, man.
Inside here, so here we go.
Please subscribe show. YouTube.
Cole Spivey.
So I'm on the campus of UTA, which is the University of Texas at Arlington. Way in the distance, you can't really hear them, but there's like a drama ensemble going on. Kind of hear it, maybe. I was talking about, there's the download, the Via app. Via is actually like Uber and Lyft, only it's only Arlington only right now. And you can get the app off of Apple or after Google Play. So Apple Store has it right there. It's in Arlington. That's where it started. It'll probably be one of the leaders, or if the only rideshare company for a while, maybe. It'll probably beat out Uber and Lyft, most likely. It's a good chance it would. Well, I'm in Arlington. I was really impressed by the employee who gave me my card back first at this, as we used to call Jack in the Crack, also known as Jack in a Box. This is pretty much what the back side of it looks like. Oh yeah, here it is over this way. You know, I'm real aware of that service stuff, especially since I'm in the service industry. But you can see right here, there it is. Yeah, you can see it like right there, right in there. It says Jack in the Box. Yep, you can see it right there too. It's not perfect, but you can still see it there. So I just got a couple orders of tacos and some french fries. But I'm drinking mostly this tea right here in this thing. Put tea in it. Sometimes I go, oh, and I have a little bit left of a big gulp. Sometimes I go to 7-Eleven and I get like a coffee. They put a French fry in my curly fries because I got curly fries. It's kind of cool to do that. Just kind of remind you of the old French fries. None of these are really curly. They're like little sickle cell shaped curly fries. You know what I mean? You can see, like in the bag, you can kind of see, they just kind of threw a bunch of stuff in there, the French fries and everything. I don't know. But, anyway, so this is their taco sauce, which is actually really good. And they gave me extra ketchup, because I asked for extra ketchup. But what makes me mad with these type of tacos is it's really about the lettuce. It boils down to it. You can see I put a little lettuce on it. These are pretty good. They can be, but they can mess them up sometimes. You will hear some crunchy noises. So if you want to get some cotton swab and put it in your ear, or maybe like some earplugs, it's going to get crunchy. Not too bad. I like them a little bit softer. You can see where the meat is in this area. And a lot of times when you're eating them in your car like this, you just squirt the taco sauce. Lots of lettuce just fell on me. Taco Bell's the one I really see as an omen. Not really Jack in the Box, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a bite and squirt at the same time. So I'll squirt this in my mouth, and then I'll take this bite. You know what I mean. I take a bite and then squirt the stuff in my mouth. That way I'm not squirting it on there and then it flying off and getting on my shirt. And just wash it down with some big gulp. So that's basically the result. As you can see, that's mostly Jack in the Box salad. Well, Jack in the Box lettuce in the actual taco. See one of the taco shells there. Didn't quite make it. And there's the bag. It's cheap, you know. They can get 2 tacos for $1 or something. Not too bad. And that was for much dinner. You know, it's pretty good. That's what I have to do with budgeting. As you can see, just kind of get out and just kind of let the lettuce come right off right there. So off the phone, pretty good. And I just kind of wipe this off this way. Here. Get some of this stuff. You can see some pieces right there. There's like a piece, kind of like right here. Not that any of the other pieces matter, but you know what I mean? Oh, there's one right there. There we go. It's a pretty cool Beamer right there. Not too bad at all. So what I like about YouTube's platform is also, it's like the studio kind of follows you, you know? Hollywood actors are confined in many cases, not in all cases, but in many cases, they're confined to Hollywood. Now, there are some that are international, you know, like for example, Johnny Depp lives on an island in France or something like that, something to that extent. And, you know, if he wants to do something for Disney, if he gets to work with Disney ever again, he'd have to travel, you know, he'd have to. So with YouTube, it just follows you. The studio follows you wherever you go, anywhere in the world. Vlog almost over. And the last thing I want to talk about is one of the problems with New York real estate is the fact that everybody's mobile. It's called remote working. So people are kind of working remotely, and that affects New York because all office space is declining, meaning your office space in New York City is dwindling downward. There's not as much offices and buildings for offices to be. They'll either turn into apartments, which probably that could solve probably the whole New York City homeless crisis. Pretty much is what God's probably saying right there. They could put pretty much every homeless person that's on the street in New York City into a pretty decent apartment, because there's tons of office space in New York City right now that can be transferred or repurposed into apartments. They're probably on the way to doing that because they're not going to be able to fill all of that office space. Remember, New York was first designed to be 2 major things. First was work, so they had offices and buildings they built for many companies, and then alongside of that they had apartments for those people to live in. Now it's mostly just becoming apartments because people are what are known as remote working, or they're working from home, or they're from their apartment. So there it goes. So all homeless people in New York should be able to be housed. I'm glad that New York figured that out. Will it happen? Not for the Republicans, but the Democrats might do something about it and help. The Republican state of mind about homeless is that, well, if you don't have a place to stay, that's your fault. Not always. But Democrats don't feel that way. They feel that the homeless should be housed and that the government should do something about it. And New York can deal with that with having new office space turned into apartments. The person to watch, which I may recommend, is Cash Jordan. Cash Jordan gets a lot of attention in New York City because he's a real estate agent and has access to hundreds and thousands of, who knows how much access he has, but at least thousands of different apartments. I don't know about hundreds of thousands, but I guess I meant to say hundreds, or even probably thousands, probably thousands of different apartments that he can show to you if you're interested. Go to Cash Jordan, I'll put it in there. But anyway, eventually, I think we'll eventually slip into utopia, and we won't really need the money crisis. The need for money, which is the root of all evil, will eventually dwindle. So crimes, when it comes to money, would dwindle, and then that the two would dwindle most all crime, and that would lead to utopia. If you get rid of money, then you have utopia. That's the only way. So cancel out money, you have peace on earth. It's very simple. So if you want the war to end, the real war, which is the war between poverty and riches, you just get rid of money. How do we do that? Well, we use our brains. The Venus Project talks about it, if you ever watch the Venus Project. And in the future, we'll eventually get that way. I would say probably 90% of all crime is related to someone trying to find a way to probably earn money. Probably is probably one of the reasons why. And then, 10 or 20% of it would be because of insanity or irrationality or something like that. Anyway, that's just what it's my opinion. I'm not taking it from Star Trek, because in Star Trek there's no money in the future. People just found what they wanted to do and went with their passions. And YouTube is an example of that, because if you wanted to start your own television show, let's say you love acting, or you love film making, or you love cinema, or you love just, I don't know, talking to the world, or just, performing, or whatever it is, you can just pick up your phone and begin your own channel. It could be more popular than NBC. Who knows? NBC is actually asking for subscribers. Not that I'm asking you to subscribe to NBC, but NBC will ask you to subscribe to them if you go to YouTube. Same with all news channels. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe. Please subscribe. We'll see you next time. Thanks for logging in, or whatever I want to say. I'll come up with these things, but I came up with this one, right? Because you got Scott on tape who goes, peace out, right? So this would be mine. Ready? On 3. 3.
Stop and start. Stupid acting smart. Flirting with the flicks. You say it's just for kids. You'll be the victim of your own dirty tricks. You got yourself to tease and displease. Door swinging wide, you walked into high, looking at your feet, failure's complete. Saw you and me on the corner TV, frozen in fear every time we got surprised at all and really.
We have peace with God through Jesus, Romans 5:1. That's what that says right there in St. Paul Lutheran. Good night.
So sick and tired of all these pictures of me, completely wrong, totally wrong. Walking by, coming over the guy, jailer who sells personal hell. Who like to see me down on my fucking knees? Everybody's